The United States has deployed one of its most lethal aircraft just outside Venezuela. U.S. F-18 Super Hornet fighter jets are bracing for potential strikes alongside F-35 fighters. This as Donald Trump issues an ultimatum to Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro in a tense phone call. America's deadly firepower around Venezuela hints at Washington's full-scale operation is on the cards against its southern neighbor. The U.S. War Department and Southern Command published images showing the F-18s on the American Navy's supercarrier aircraft, USS Gerald R. The deployment of F-18s marks a sharp escalation. Fifth-generation stealth aircraft, F-35s, have already been deployed in the region. U.S. officials said F-18E/F Super Hornet fighters on board the carrier simulate strike missions on Venezuelan targets, rehearsing the blueprint for possible real-world combat. The USS Gerald R is one of just 3 aircraft carriers with electromagnetic catapult launch systems. The supercarrier is currently restricted to F-18 jets due to limitations in integrating the F-35 stealth fighters with the carrier's electromagnetic catapult system. But the Pentagon insists modern firepower is within reach. F-35s can be launched from U.S. facilities in Puerto Rico at a moment's notice if Washington orders a strike on Venezuela. Not just Navy and F-18s and F-35s, but B-52H Stratofortress and B-1B Lancer strategic bombers have been carrying out simulated attacks and bomber attack demonstrations across the Caribbean since mid-October. They are flying with transponders off for stealth training and show-of-force operations. The dramatic escalation in the U.S.-Venezuelan confrontation came after Trump's stunning announcement declaring Venezuelan airspace closed in its entirety, issuing a direct warning to airlines, pilots, and, in his words, drug dealers. Trump revealed he held a call with Maduro as the Pentagon continues strikes in the Caribbean aimed at cartels.
Yeah, because we consider Venezuela to be not a very friendly country. They sent millions of people, really, and probably a number in excess of that. And a lot of those people shouldn't be in our country, from jails, from gangs, from drug dealers, from all of the people that came into our country shouldn't have been in our country, causing a lot of problems.
Does your warning
and drugs.
Does your warning mean that an airstrike is imminent, or should we not read it that way?
Don't read anything into it.
The New York Times reported that you had a phone call with Maduro. Did you?
I don't want to comment on it. The answer is yes.
And can you tell us a little bit
No,
about
I can't do that.
Mr. President,
Would you say it went well?
No, I wouldn't say it went well or badly. It was a phone call, yeah.
Venezuela, however, is responding with defiance, activating air defense units and S-300VM missile batteries. Venezuela has launched military readiness drills, deploying Su-30 Mk2 long-range fighter jets. The clock is ticking, and the tension is now at its highest point in years. The Caribbean Sea is the world's newest military flashpoint, almost certain it could explode any time if the cooler heads don't prevail.
a massive U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific, near daily strikes on drug trafficking boats. Bounty on Nicolás Maduro increased to $50 million. Move to designate Maduro a terrorist. All this points towards U.S. President Donald Trump's unprecedented attack mission preparations. Trump held a phone call last week with the U.S.'s longtime foe, the Venezuelan president, Nicolás Maduro. Explosive details are now out about what Trump told Maduro. A fear that the Venezuelan president has been raising for weeks may come true in the days to come. That is right. Trump is seeking regime change in Venezuela. According to a Wall Street Journal report, Trump told Maduro to quit. Trump warned that if Maduro does not step down voluntarily, the U.S. could use force. Earlier, the New York Times reported that Trump discussed the possibility of a future meeting with Maduro. Just days after a phone call with Maduro, Trump announced the closure of Venezuelan airspace. In a post on Truth Social, Trump warned airlines and pilots to avoid all airspace around Venezuela. This fuels concerns that the U.S. may be laying the groundwork for a possible invasion of Venezuela. During the Thanksgiving address to U.S. soldiers, Trump hinted at starting a campaign from land.
And in recent weeks, you've been working to deter Venezuelan drug traffickers, of which there are many. Of course, there aren't too many coming in by sea anymore, if you probably noticed that, from sending their poisons into the United States, where they kill hundreds of thousands of people a year. But we're going to take care of that situation. We're already doing a lot. We've almost stopped. It's about 85% stopped by sea. You probably noticed that. People aren't wanting to be delivering by sea. And we'll be starting to stop them by land also. The land is easier, but that's going to start very soon. We warn them, stop sending poison to our country.
Caracas reacted sharply to Trump's airspace closure warning. The Venezuelan Foreign Ministry said that Trump's move was an illegal colonial act, which is aimed at undermining its sovereignty. Maduro has been repeatedly insisting that U.S. military actions are part of a long-running effort to pursue regime change and gain control over Venezuela's vast natural resources. Venezuela has the largest oil reserve and the fourth largest gas reserve in the world.
I firmly believe at this very moment that the undeniable truths which have been consistently provided by the esteemed Venezuelan institutions and the collective public opinion have indeed paved a clear and undeniable path for the complete truth to be widely known and fully acknowledged today, not only within the United States, but also across the entirety of Latin America and throughout the vibrant Caribbean region. And the truth is that Venezuela is innocent. And everything being done against Venezuela is to justify a war, a regime change, and to steal our immense oil wealth, which is the largest oil reserve and the fourth largest gas reserve in the world.
In recent months, the U.S. has flown strategic bombers near Venezuelan airspace and deployed the USS Gerald R. Ford, the nation's most advanced aircraft carrier, to the region. Trump's military buildup is the largest U.S. show of force in the Caribbean in decades.